now.
Vegan sausage rolls.
Vegan sausage rolls.
Fucking
right,
boars.
this is NXT Takeover 2017. We are just off this boring pay-per-view, in my opinion. It was in Houston. And you know what? The place wasn't packed out at all. They cannot sell tickets for this shit anymore, man. What is happening to wrestling?
It's a great introduction. It was in Houston, and it was not packed at fucking all.
Far from it.
No, well, you know, recently this fucking company's had problems with filling the fucking house. That's a problem. They can only fill the house in the main 4 pay-per-views. That's not good. That's pretty embarrassing, actually. But it is what it is now. It's sad because NXT can't even get it, and even the marks that all go to Survivor Series are there. So that means that there's not enough marks actually popping up for this event. So that's kind of sad. Nonetheless, the event was good. The event was good to watch. I don't know how it was for the crowd or anything, because the crowd kind of seemed dead for a little bit. We'll get to that later. But it seemed like a good show on paper, and it delivered, but like the crowd seemed weird. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'll have to say the first match was pretty good between Cassius Ohno and Lars Sullivan. I really like Ohno.
Ohno's a good job guy. He's a
I'm
really
not gonna lie,
solid
though.
job guy.
They could book him as a giant killer. I know he hasn't really got the look, but he's a big guy. Like maybe Lars is the tallest, but
I've gotten over this before, man. Yeah, I've gotten over this before, man. This guy gets hired, gets fat, gets fired, loses weight again, gets hired, and gets fat again.
Well, did you not like that match?
Fuck? No, I love the match. I mean, the match.
I thought it was
the
really
match.
good.
The match was a solid opener, but to the point where you were saying he should be a giant killer. Fuck no, he's a good job guy. He's a good lower.
I'll tell you,
guy.
do you know what it reminds me of, right? From earlier on this year and last year. This is just Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman.
No, because that had a shit, stupid storyline behind it. This was just an easy squash.
A shit, stupid storyline. Well, how was it shit?
The Sammy one?
Yeah.
They had something about, who was the one that Mick Foley was saying? The red-haired bitch.
Mick Foley wanted to protect Sami from Braun, so that was the whole storyline.
Yeah.
He wanted to get killed.
Yeah, but then he was like, I used that as a test. So, to see how tough you are, because I said I would fire you for Eva Marie, I think. Was it Eva?
No, he traded her for Eva Marie.
He would trade her.
What a way to shit on that girl for no reason.
Yeah, right? It's like, let's say somebody that's bottom
Mick Foley,
of the
Mr.
barrel.
Innocent and nice here. Really isn't.
No, see that fake-ass fucking big-ass Santa beard. It's a lie.
I don't know. I like the storyline. I like this one, but it was a great intro.
The
crowd
good
enjoyed
squash. Yeah, the crowd enjoyed the squash. I think the crowd likes Lars. By the way, Lars' entrance in a full venue would look good.
You think he's a future star?
Yeah, only hope.
Only hope.
Because the last, who's the last person that has left from this company? Bobby Roode. He's the last one. So before that was Nakamura, and we kind of see what they did with Nakamura. But besides that, Bobby Roode has done nothing because they decided to make him as a face for some weird reason, even though he's a great heel. They decided to make him a face, so it just shows you that the last 2 stars that came out of NXT have been shitted on fast. So I don't know what you can. I don't know what they're gonna do with Lars. They're gonna make him dance like Kurgan. I don't know.
We get to see NXT UK there, which the crowd didn't know who the fuck they were, and I don't really not the biggest fan of most of the guys there. I really don't like Tyler Bay. I don't see much in
the crowd didn't give a fuck about who they were.
The crowd didn't give a fuck about anyone. That cuts to Aleister Black now, Velveteen Dream here.
That was the second match?
Yeah, that was the second match.
Okay, yeah.
And Velveteen had the Rick Rude trunks with both their faces on it. Velveteen Dream, man, that's a main event guy right there. That's within the next 3 to 4 years. Maybe WWE title is a bit of a stretch, but IC US title on the main roster.
Who, Dream or Black?
Dream.
I see Dream going to a lot higher than that. Only because just the character is so unique.
3 to 4 years, you see him in the WWE title.
I'd say 5, but like that's just me saying that. I feel like maybe 3 years he'd be a good mid card guy just to get his way up because you don't want to push a guy too fucking fast and they don't know and they go, who's this black guy that's dressing up as Prince? They don't know who the fuck that is. So you push him slowly, gradually, it might work, but doesn't know. You don't.
So
know.
what did you think? I honestly near fell asleep to this match. I actually thought it was quite boring. So if you want to fill in the gaps, man, you can go right ahead.
Well, I don't know if you did you watch the last weeks of NXT?
Well, yeah, it's all about the weeks. Pay attention to or where's his name, but I just don't care.
It's mostly because
I just thought the match was very slow and boring. And I'm not really the biggest fan of Aleister Black's work style, if that makes sense.
What, the kicks?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the indie kicks.
What?
The indie moveset, in my opinion.
No, the indie moveset. What I see as an indie moveset
is I hit you with a finisher, then lift you up, then kick your knee, and then hit you again with the finisher. Like an Adam Cole does that shit.
Yeah, he needs
Kenny Omega, New Japan does that.
He needs to slow it down. I agree. He needs to slow that shit down with the indie shit. He needs to slow that shit down.
I just don't get where that came from, where we hit someone with a finisher, lift them up.
It's Spot Fest. It just became spots. It's just guys fucking around, and then people thought it was the best match ever, and they were like, oh, this can get over. And then that's where the fucking bullshit indie shit comes from. Because you look at old indies, I mean, we've been around, we've seen them. Like, they weren't all Spot Fest, but they were kind of spotty. But now it's just ridiculous. Now
they need to bring it back to the good old days of XPW, man.
Yeah.
Those were the days for indie wrestling. If you people weren't out there watching XPW,
XPW's gonna bring you some porn, huh?
Well, this match definitely didn't bring me anything.
The match was all right. To me, the match was good because it was just the storytelling that was leading up to it and the storytelling that it told in the ring. Like when he did the backflip into the ring and sat down like a little bitch.
Hate that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Hate that show.
But he sits down. He sits down. He's cocky. Then Dream does his little shit, and then he's like, "Okay, you don't want to pay attention to me." Like he turned, because I think Black turned his face. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. And then Dream was like, "Okay, cool." He sits and crosses his legs like him, mocking him. That's good storytelling. That tells the story of the match and the storyline. I was like, "Okay, cool, that's good." And then there was a lot of things there. I feel like Dream is still kind of green because there's times where he walks around.
Green.
Yeah, he's kind of green sometimes when he's walking around and shit. You can tell that he's just waiting to get a sign for the next spot. So he's kind of still green, but his character's incredible. Like, he can talk up a fucking storm with his character. But this is only the beginning though. I feel like he can get higher than what he's at now. I feel like he can feud with a lot of people. I don't know if he's. I don't know. Shit. This is where I start to get upset that there's not a mid card belt for these fuckers. Like, aren't you feeling that? Like, they need a mid card belt.
Are you happy Aleister won?
Yeah. Because Dream didn't need to win.
He goes to the title next to Andrade.
No, because I think they're gonna do that. They're gonna leave that for Johnny.
Well, he was on a dark match apparently tonight, so.
Yeah, but they're leaving. I think they're gonna leave that to Johnny only because fucking what's his name? They're gonna leave that to Johnny only because I don't know what they're gonna do with Ciampa first. I don't know if they're gonna go straight to it or anything.
Do you see that on the old Skype notifications right now? We can confirm, everybody, that finally Tyler the Trademark has made it here on Skype. Tyler, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. My bad. I was kind of.
Can everyone in the live stream hear him? Everyone in your stream right now. Everyone see. Right.
Yeah, my bad, guys. I missed the notification. I was
you fell asleep,
doing something else. Yeah, basically.
we just knocked out the. Did you watch the pay-per-view tonight?
Yes, I did actually.
Well, we're moving on.
I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah, all right, real quick. Give us a quick synopsis of the first two matches, real quick, because we already finished those shits.
Sheesh, I can't even remember the first two matches.
Lars.
Yeah. Lars and Cash Sona. That match was actually better than it had every right to be. I think that may have had some. I think that was more to do with Ono than anything else because Ono's a fucking veteran. But yeah, Lars looked good. Right running with Lars Sullivan, and the next match
Dream in Black.
was Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream. Really good match. Really good match. Great storytelling too with Dream telling Black to say his name over and over again, even during the match. So, and eventually, Aleister Black did say his name. So, at the end of the match, but simple storytelling there, simple yet effective at the same time. That's why people were into that match.
And the one thing I want to say before we go on to a new topic is that storytelling like that in that match is something that a lot of guys, especially in NXT, do not have or don't necessarily know. Like Johnny Gargano, I don't know if he has that yet. You don't even see it. So he hasn't even been in matches that can do you that. Like he might have that match against Ciampa because I know they're gonna do that fucking thing because Ciampa's injured right now. I get that, but we haven't seen that for a lot of NXT guys that they're fucking pushing in storyline wise. So that storyline match was really good. It shows that these guys can actually do that, and that's a big main roster thing. They need you to tell a story, and if you can't, then they're not gonna fucking do that. They're not gonna mess with you.
Well, that slides us now into Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens, which were there, which they got a pop. But right behind them, I think it was Kevin Owens. There was this huge gap in the crowd. Natalia, we already mentioned it. What did you think of the empty arena tonight, man?
Kind of the tale of the story there with WWE, isn't it? With them having trouble with selling tickets. I mean, I've read lots of differing reports here and there when it comes to that, but it's all basically the same thing. WWE is just having trouble selling tickets right now, and it doesn't help when the main product is an absolute fucking dumpster fire right now, as it is. So who knows? And of course,
technically, though, should that be affecting this show though?
I don't think it's
just because the main roster is a shit show. Realistically, NXT shouldn't be affected by that.
Well,
on paper, no, but how much interest is in NXT though? Right now,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Well, it's a network show, and you have to be. Right. It's a niche. And come on, wrestling is a niche, and NXT is incredibly niche because it's developmental and it's on a paid fucking subscription. So you're not going to get that much people watching. And we don't even know how much streams NXT gets on the network. They only tell that shit to you quarterly. So it is what it is. We don't know who's actually watching that shit on the network. I know I am. I know we are. But we don't know we don't know the actual people that's viewing that show. So most likely it's not that high if you look at the crowd. It's just not that high.
Well, that cuts now into the main. Well, actually, not the main event. Probably the first main event. Drew McIntyre versus Andrade for the NXT title. Best match of the night, in my opinion.
Did you on purposely skip the girls?
Oh shit! I completely forgot about them.
Don't worry. I did too.
I'm sorry. Such a shame.
Oh man, such a shame. Anyway, Drew McIntyre.
We gotta mention this shit match.
We gotta look. It was shit. The girls were shit. Not all of them. I like Nikki Cross, but yeah,
powerbombed onto the outside, which looked horrible. But
yeah, that's the only way these girls can get over, by taking these horrible bumps because they can't talk for their life. But it is what it is, sadly. Ember Moon won like it wasn't going to be fucking obvious. She had a good match against Asuka one-on-one the last takeover, so obviously she was going to win this one. They weren't going to give it to anybody else. And that match was boring as fucking anything. Like, I found myself nodding off just watching the match, and I just remember it was at the powerbomb spot too that I was like, Jesus, it's only 2 minutes in and I really don't give a fuck about this match. It's awful. And It's not to all the girls. It's just these 4 girls are not the 4 girls you want to put in a
Peyton
title.
Royce, man, that music.
Exactly.
Is terrible.
It fucking Peyton Royce.
Everything about
Really?
Peyton Royce sucks, but the music was especially bad.
Really, Peyton Royce? You might as well just make it a triple threat match. Fuck it, Jesus, Peyton Royce. Come on.
Who won again? Oh yeah, it was Ember.
Ember Moon. Who was the other girl? Oh, Kairi Sane. Kairi fucking Sane.
Right.
A lot of people like Kairi Sane. She is as tiny as Alexa Bliss, but she is as skinny as like I don't know, the average cruiserweight guy in 205 Live. She is tiny, and the only thing she has is an elbow drop. That's it. I don't know, but I don't believe it. I don't like it.
I think she's all right she's all right in the ring. I do. I just think this is
three of those girls are all right in the ring.
This is why she's in developmental though. It's because not only just well, I don't want to say Honor Craft because God, she's been in doing Japanese shit overseas for years now. She's mainly name and stardom. Kairi Sane is. I also seen her on Lucha Underground too. I think was it last season? She was facing Pentagon.
What the fuck?
Which was
right. The thing is about this is I feel like Kairi Sane she wasn't hired for this, but she's heavily promoted fast for the main reason of we had one successful Japanese girl. How about we have 2? And that's the problem with it. You're promoting it as, oh, this is the next Japanese girl we got from overseas a few months ago. We're now training her now, and she's going to be exactly on the same par as Asuka. No, don't do that.
I don't think I don't see it like that at all, actually. I see it as, okay, she's good. They're promoting her as such. I don't see them promoting her as, the next Asuka. Ooh, she's going to go undefeated. I don't see that at all. Matter of fact, I think she's going to probably, if she does win the title, she's probably going to lose it. I don't want to say real quick, but I'll only probably give her like a couple months.
Like, I really like Asuka, but when it came to...
not a couple months, but up until probably SummerSlam weekend, and then she drops, and then she goes up to the main roster.
I guess, but that's a stretch. I feel like she could possibly be there for a little bit longer. But the one thing I see here is the one thing I want to mention is that I still think that Toni Storm should have won the Mae Young Classic. I feel like she would have benefited from that much more than Kairi Sane, because Toni Storm has been Toni Storm has been in the business for a while. I get that, but not as long as Kairi Sane, and Kairi Sane could still make a name for herself. And Toni Storm is young; she's really young. Wouldn't you want to advertise that? Wouldn't you want to advertise the youth of her? So I was just like, I don't know.
Toni Storm, I think, is still coming in now. Regardless, I think she's still.
No. I know she's coming in, but I think she should have won the tournament. I think that was a tournament that she should have won.
See, she's coming in, but I have no idea if it's going to be in regular NXT
or NXT UK.
I think she's going to be in the new NXT UK promotion.
Probably because they need fucking people.
So,
they really haven't showed that much girls over there. So you're right. They really need girls over there.
And you also got Rhea Ripley over there too.
Rhea Ripley should fucking definitely move down to the main NXT. I wouldn't say as soon as possible, but hopefully soon, because she's really good.
She's gonna be a fucking. She's
really good.
I'm letting.
She got to get used to a little bit of promo work and shit like that. She got to get used to the whole the way they want you to work. But like besides that,
right? But
she's really good.
Besides that, I think she'll be fine.
She's really good. She's as tall as Charlotte too, I think, or maybe as tall as Charlotte. So yeah, it's her.
You want to bring us now into the first main event of the night, then?
Oh my god, this match was weird. I don't
know.
You
didn't like it?
No.
The ending was weird. I didn't expect that.
I thought it was a solid, good match, but it was weird. NXT title matches have always been the ending, and this is the first time that it has not been the ending of a show. So the changing of the title was weird to me because I never thought Drew McIntyre would be positioned as a transitional champion. They advertise this nigga as a beast, and now he's transitional. I guess he's going to the main roster, but we got to check on his arm. You saw his arm after he took that finish? His arm's fucked.
I think the reason why the match ended the way it did, I think that was an audible cold.
No, because they wouldn't. They wouldn't. No, because I think they would have. I honestly think they would have counted the 3 because I don't think him kicking out of the elevated version of his main DDT finisher and him kicking out of that move would have done anything for Andrade. That would have made his move look weak, honestly. So him kicking out of that would have been Jesus. That would have been
the best spot in that match, in my opinion, was that moonsault Andrade did to the outside.
To the outside, yeah.
Oh my god! Yes.
I thought he was going to kick the cameraman.
I think he did once. I think he swear to God he kicked the cameraman at least once. But they tell them to move back a certain way because they know how far he jumps. But shit, that match was really good. A really good title match. It's been a while since we had good title matches.
I'll say this, right? Can we all in wrestling ban the hammerlock DDT because it never looks good?
No, I think that was just the way Drew took it. Drew's a big guy. Drew took it like shit. He rolled over it, and he didn't land his head on the mat, and it showed. And also, when we have this finisher, whoever the fuck is doing the Kevin Dunn position, because I know he's not working for NXT, don't show the DDT not connecting on the camera. Don't do that. You're gonna fuck up the just the disbelief of the move of actually it connecting. Don't do that. You're gonna fuck it up. But it's a good move. It's a really good move. It's just the way Drew took it. He's a big guy. I think he kind of fucked it up and he rolled over. But besides that, the match is really good. Like I said, it was the first good NXT World Title match for a long time since like Nakamura versus Joe, in my opinion. Because Drew versus Bobby Roode was shit. Bobby Roode versus Nakamura was shit. They weren't good matches. They were really boring, and they kind of damped the show for me. So, this kind of brought it up a little bit. And Andrade being champion is weird. What do you think about that, Tyler?
It is, considering that this guy was basically the I don't want to compare him to No Way Jose, but my God, the dude was just...
Oh, yeah, remember his outfit?
This dude looked like a fucking Chippendales dancer.
Yeah, he looked like a Chippendales
dancer. He looked ridiculous. He looked ridiculous, but I'll say this, once they paired him off with Zelina Vega, holy shit, did he get interesting. I'm not saying that because, Zelina Vega's hot and all. I'm not saying that at all. Zelina Vega can talk.
Yes.
So,
she's a perfect talker for a guy that does not speak English. The perfect talker.
Right. And she basically made this guy interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They basically made this guy interesting.
Very good.
And, how will his run be as NXT champion? It was just clue.
I think
he might actually have a good one. Have a good run.
I have no clue how good the run will be. It always depends on who you're feuding with, because if you're feuding with somebody that's shit, then it's gonna be kind of boring. Like Bobby Roode's reign, he feuded with Roderick Strong, which was okay, but then he went straight to Drew McIntyre, and it was slow. It was Bobby Roode's reign was kind of boring. Everything was just glamorous with the entrance. Okay. This title reign might be different because the talent that he's going to face is not going to be those boring, methodical guys. He's most likely going to face the likes of Black or Dream, maybe Lars, but that'll be fucked up. He might get squashed. Johnny Gargano, maybe. I'm not sure. Any of those guys, you're going to get a better match out of those guys. Guaranteed. So it might be a different title reign for Andrade. Andrade might have a better title reign, but the match was great. The match
maybe Lars will challenge him within the next couple of weeks.
No, I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think they want him to do that.
Traditional champion awaits. I don't know. I'm happy for Andrade. He's a great guy. Drew, I hope it's okay.
Who'd you say might challenge him in a couple of weeks?
Lars.
No,
I'm gonna say this now, right?
no.
For the
You
Rumble,
know who I think is? You know who I think is going to be the next challenger for Andrade coming into
Adam Cole.
NXT Takeover Philadelphia?
Could be
It's not
Adam
going to be
Cole.
Adam Cole. Nah, that's heel force.
Oh, you not thinking after the Undisputed Era won the War Games tonight? You don't think that elevates Adam Cole?
It does.
It's gonna be John. It's gonna be Johnny Gargano. It's gonna be Johnny because they need a fiery babyface in there. It is because
Sadly,
they need a fiery.
Yeah,
babyface
they do
in
need
there.
a fiery babyface. Yeah,
And Johnny also needs something to. You know what? Too, that could be a way for Ciampa to come back. Also. You
well,
know,
Ciampa's out for a while. I don't know when the
yeah.
fuck he's coming back. He fucked up his knee a long time ago. I don't know when he's gonna come back. He fucked up his knee early this year, so. But yeah, I guess you're right. They do need a fiery babyface, or they can use Aleister Black. He just came off of a win. They could use Black.
Nah, I think they're gonna save Black for Mania weekend.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna
That's
save.
a long-term plan right there.
yeah, that's a little bit too long term. I don't. Well, I mean, it's NXT. I mean, Triple H keeps an eye on those things, but I don't know. I see it either being Black or Johnny. But we still have Takeover for Royal Rumble, and I think it's going to be in Philly.
Hopefully they can fill that place out, man.
Yeah,
'cause
it's gonna be Philly.
You know, it could be filled out because it's Philly. It could be filled out
I
because
think
it's
they
Philly.
will.
But
I think they will.
who knows? Because I thought they would fill this place out because it's fucking Survivor Series. But I guess not. Because I know
Survivor Series will be packed tomorrow night.
watch that shit be packed because of casual fans. Watch it be packed. It'll be packed. But
Well, that leads us now into the match that, in my opinion, got most affected by this fucking deadbeat crowd. Main event time. And before we get there, everybody, we actually have plugs. And thanks to our sponsors and whatever was in there. War Games time, everybody. Sanity, Undisputed, AOP with Roddy Strong. What did you think of that match?
there's a lot to say about this match. This was a lot of
Really?
First of all,
Alexander Wolf got fucked up. Man.
I was just about to say. First of all, the first thing we should say is Wolf took a fucking beating. He looked dead, and that picture of him laying in the corner with the blood in the back of his head spilling. This frame that picture. Give that nigga a frame. You just basically told a picture of a match that wasn't as gruesome, but was really stiff. But just your cut alone made that match incredible. That's the power of blading. That's the power of seeing blood and color in the match. But the match was incredible. Very rare with three teams, but it worked.
I'm not gonna lie, the start was very slow, but then again, they were trying to wait kill time. It was Adam Cole, Eric Young, and Roderick Strong. They started the match, and then the first team to come in was Undisputed Era, right?
Yes.
Undisputed, then Sanity, who brought weapons. And
AOP and then Sanity, because AOP came in and fucked people up. And then
AOP wiped everyone, and then Sanity brought the weapons. They brought chairs, trash cans, tables, and randomly a chain.
I think
maybe a kendo was there. I can't remember.
Kendo stick.
It was really good. Complete car crash. The spot that had me was that one where the superplex off the top. Remember that?
Yeah. That spot had me. That spot had me laughing because they never catch you on these spots. So they both just died, and then Cole just kicks out. I'm like, whoa, oh shit. That shocked me that Cole kicked out of that. That's a finish to me.
My biggest problem for this match, right? Really, right? Mm-hmm. I think the title match should have been the main event, honestly. And the crowd to me were a fucking joke. Tonight the crowd ruined a lot of things for me tonight. So
yeah, the crowd was pretty dead for this match because
after the women's match they were dead, man. They were done for the night.
Well, I blame the booking for that, but to be fair, I'd say that recently, the recent culture of the crowds, I guess. They've been dead for a lot of things. They are dead. Like, they see a spot and they go, oh, and then they go back on their phone and record the fucking thing. That's what upsets me. Because there's no crowd reaction. There's no actual interaction with whoever's in the fucking ring doing the spot. They react and then they sit right back down and stop clapping. That's why I fucking see that green shirt guy in the front row like he's the fucking representation of all those cunty fans that don't know how to fucking react. I see him and I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go. It's going to be a shit crowd tonight.
The pay-per-view wasn't that long overall. What was it, 2.5 hours?
No, they're usually not that long. Takeovers are pretty quick. But Yeah, man, War Games was incredible. Why do you think? Hold on. Why do you think the title match should have gone on last? Because to be fair, the whole show is built off of War Games, so you kind of have to give this one a pass.
Just because of the botches that were in this match, I thought quite a lot of botches and fuck ups, and the crowd was just so dead it kind of ruined all the big moments.
I didn't see that many botches, and it's a clusterfuck. It's supposed to be everything can't be perfect.
I just didn't like the way anytime there was something big, that crowd were just not giving anything to it, and to me that makes the match really subpar.
Yeah, I mean the crowd reaction was kind of shit.
I'll say this: Adam Cole was the one that won the match for the team.
Yes.
Like when he was sitting between, I think it was AOP members after everyone had been power bombed.
Mm-hmm.
No one gave a fuck. And it's just, what's the point? Fuck, it's just pathetic, man.
Yeah,
why the fuck do you pay your money to go? But the thing is, maybe it's hard for me to say that because if you're there and you're paying and you're looking at the ring, and then you look right behind the ring, there's nobody. So that obviously,
no, but fuck that, man. Look at the people that are in the ring. They're in two rings, by the way. We haven't seen this. We haven't seen two rings since the late '90s. So come on, let's be fair.
Now, how much were the prices?
Probably not that expensive at all. NXT shows, maybe the front rows were, but up there, nah, cheap seats. Still couldn't fit.
Oh, apparently they go from 50 to 75, and then even 250 to 300.
Really? No wonder nobody wanted to fucking go. You can't tell them Mark. You can't tell a Mark to pay 50 to 75 for the cheap seats at an NXT show, and then assume they're gonna come back for Survivor Series. You can't do that. They already flew half around the fucking country just to go there. That's bad by WWE. That's horrible. You can't do that. You got to make that shit. If you have cheap seats, make them cheap seats.
So what did you two think of the match? And I gave my.
I thought the match was really good. I don't know how many botches that you saw. Obviously, when it comes to like placement and when I think Eric Young was just laying there waiting for Cole to seemingly fucking jump on him. That's the type of shit that's always happened in wrestling. So it's kind of one of those things like, I know it's gonna lead to something or it won't lead to something. We'll see. And then Roddy stepped in front of him, so it didn't really mean anything. But the match was really good. Stiff car crash. It was more reckless in the ring than any Hell in a Cell that I've seen in a while, and any fucking chamber match that I've seen in a while. There was more, quote unquote carnage in the ring, more trash, more bullshit, more spots. But the one thing I agree with you with the crowd being dead when Cole was just sitting there. Remember, there was like two Tower of Doom spots when they, the AOP slammed them on the ground, on the mat, and as soon as they hit the mat, the crowd goes dead. They don't say a word. Oh, like come on, man, come on. You got this is the first match you got, and you don't react to anything. It's not like they're not giving you good spots. They're giving you really good spots and shit you haven't seen because there's two rings. But no, it's just bad. The crowd reacted kind of shit-wise for most of it. They should have been popping more harder for that. I mean, I know I did, but it is what it is. I thought the match was solid. I thought the match was really good. I'm sure they're going to do it again because this company likes to do gimmick pay-per-views. So they're going to do it next year. And I won't have a fucking problem with that. Just don't book the match like shit. It's kind of easy to book a War Games match. Don't fuck it up. What about you, Tyler? What'd you think about the War Games match?
I thought it was pretty good for what it was. I didn't really see too many botches, like Pac said. I didn't really notice it, truth be told. But
yeah, I thought it was well hidden. I thought it was well hidden.
Yeah, it was. Alexander Wolf busting his head off the table. That looked grisly as all hell. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I think they tried closing up the wound, but when he took another bump, like the last bump, it undid all the fucking stitching that they probably tried doing.
I don't think they tried to stitch him up. I'm not sure. I think what happened was they tried to just stop it. They tried to stop it, and they told him not to move. They told him not to do anything. And I think Alexander Wolf on his own said he wants to go and finish the spot because he had to be a part of the spot where he catches everybody, right? I think where everybody catches Cole.
Well, actually, no.
He came after or something.
He was not in that spot.
Okay,
so
he missed. He legit missed the spot because he cut up his fucking head. So he came over afterwards and came for the finish where everybody hits their finisher and everything. He came back for the finish, which fucking good for him. He got balls for that. He had a gash on his head, and he lost a lot of blood because the blood was still. It was like a bucket. It looked like a bucket, but it looked like a bowl of blood on the table that was just smeared on it. It was ridiculous. But yeah, he got cut really deep, and yeah, he's basically the MVP of that match next to Cole. He took a hell of a bump, and fuck, I can only imagine that gash and what it felt like in the back of your head, and then having to lay there while they're saying, "Don't move, we're gonna fucking fix this shit." Fuck that. Let me keep moving. I can't do anything. But man, it was a good match. And
so on that note, before we close out, right? I thought the pay-per-view's all right. Just right. I hate to give a rating system, but we'll do it out of 5, right?
No. We don't do rating systems. Right? We don't do rating systems.
We'll do a 10 here. Where would you put this? Now I'd put this probably a 6 out of a 6.5. To be honest with you, I really didn't enjoy it that much. If I look at Meltzer right now and Brian Alvarez, we'll look at what they give it. We'll check out their reviews. Now, remember, everybody, we are on NoDQ.com now. Why is nobody saying anything?
Because I don't like
no one's stopping this. No one's stopping this.
I don't like NoDQ. Anyway, keep rambling on your bullshit. I'm gonna let you crash. I'm gonna let you fucking
overall,
crash.
Right? I thought it was mediocre. Living La Vida Loca. So, what do you guys think of tonight? Then just wrap this up. Well, I gotta do some shout-outs before we go on and out.
Living La Vida Loca. What the fuck was that? Alright, look, the show was alright. If I would have to give it a rating system, which I won't, so fuck you Dave, and fuck you Brian. I don't mind this show. I think you should go watch it if you're an NXT fan. I think it was.
Well, you have the network. It's not going to be fucking extra. So just go and watch.
I think it was fine. I thought it was very enjoyable. I thought, to be fair, if I want to be honest, I thought that the world title match kind of helped it a little. With the title change, helped the show a little bit. Because to be fair, this show, the only worry I had about this show that it was going to be dead all the way till the War Games match, and I was mistaken. The opening match and the 2 matches in the first hour of the show was good. So go watch it. It's a good watch. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you missed it, go watch the show. It was a really good pay-per-view, overall, I thought. War Games match, I thought delivered. NXT title match, I thought delivered. There was not really one bad match on the show. If I had to say the weakest match, yep.
The women's. That's not why now. The women's.
Probably the women's match. Yeah, probably the women's match, more than anything. It was good, but it wasn't great. Let's just put it that way.
Right then.
So that's
for the wrap up. Tyler, you got anything to shout out? You want to shout out your show?
Yeah, check out the Trademark Show. Every weekend on your favorite podcast platform, I will be reviewing Survivor Series. Hopefully that's a good show tomorrow night. So check that out if you can.
Shout out Range. Shout out loads of views in the chat. Shout out Baron. What else shouts we gotta do? Shout out Jay the Mixer, and I think that's about it for shout out. So I hope you guys all had a good night. I hope you all enjoyed listening. We appreciate everything, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out, nigga.